Cool. This was going to be a live, but I just learned something about YouTube, and since I don't have 1,000 subscribers, I can't actually go live from a mobile device. Like, I can do it from a webcam, and I can do it from, like, whatever. I guess I'm starting to not realize what I'm saying, but I cannot go live from an app on my phone, period. So this is just going to get uploaded after I'm done. So anyway, this is actually about, like, I have a job that I'm trying to figure out in my head exactly what I'm supposed to be doing. And it's a bit of a complicated job. It's a camera system and phone system, and like it's an outdoor thing. Like, there's not actually a building. There is a building. It's complicated.
It's a structure.
Yes. There's a voice. So the structure is it's a temporary structure. It's going to be replaced. So whatever I'm designing has to be able to be broken down efficiently and put back together. So I think the camera's up there. It's actually right there. Look at the camera. So look, I don't care what you said about this, whatever duck face I happen to make. It's stupid. I don't know what you're talking about. Duck face. Apparently I made a duck face before starting the video as I was thinking about starting the video.
It's your duck face.
You know what? There's another voice. So the structure is going to be replaced, and I need to be able to build a camera system, not a Wi-Fi camera system, because quite frankly that's terrible. But we are going to do some long-range Wi-Fi to another structure on the site. So here's what I'm planning to do. I think we're going to go with an NVR system so that I can actually do power over Ethernet to everything. The phones are going to be power over Ethernet, and so are the cameras. So an NVR system, a voice over IP system, and then we have conduit. We're going to have to use conduit. We're going to have to mount these devices to the conduit. It's going to be interesting. So 6 cameras, 3 phones, and I'm going to have to build conduit to come up over a storage container to be able to support one of the cameras. Everything is going to have to be elevated probably between 4, quite potentially up to 10 feet above the structure. It has its challenges. So I'm working out the details in my head. I don't have any history of doing anything like this, so I don't know where I'm going and how exactly I'm going to figure this out. But I should be able to set up in the building that will be removed. This is crazy. The building that's going to be removed, I would be able to put the NVR system in there, run that into a router. The phone system is going to be on a separate switch for PoE in the building. We're going to run PoE out of that switch through the conduit over the shipping container into this like lean-to section, and then mount a phone in there onto a steel wall. Probably going to mount that directly onto the conduit as well, so that we have some insulating material between the two. Weather's going to be an issue. I can't think of one thing good about this project at all, except I get to design something to defeat all of these things, all of these hurdles.
It's nice and warm and complicated, but you have to run
the maximum run length, but it's going to be like 300, 350 feet is the maximum run length. But you mean what distance do I have to go?
Yeah, the maximum run length that you're running the cable.
Probably about 200 feet.
Now I know signal with normal Ethernet will drop off to about 350 for power. So you need a booster in the middle somewhere.
No, the power coming from the NVR directly will do something like 700 feet, something like that. So that's not going to be an issue. There is another building that is beyond where we can set up cabling, and we're gonna have to do a point-to-point Wi-Fi, which is also PoE. So we're definitely gonna have to implement a full PoE switch to beam a full PoE switch to power up all these devices internally, then beam across this, basically we'll call it a parking lot, Wi-Fi to the farthest most building. At that point, we have the option of also putting in more phones or a camera. We're definitely putting in the camera over there. So we don't necessarily need to have a PoE switch there. We can do a PoE injector for just that one camera. But we are going to have a receiving device there, aren't we? But no, we can do it directly into the camera. So from the router out to the switch, the NVR is going to plug into the router as well. The switch is going to have all of the cameras being plugged into it, most likely. Conduit's going to have to be wide enough to accept all of these cables. It's time to build a list. All right. We need. You make a list. Are you making a list?
Okay.
Twice.
We need.
That's the second time
That's
today.
the second time today. That is. That's. We need an 8-port NVR, 6 IP cameras, 2 megapixel will probably be enough for some of them. One's gonna have to probably be a little bit better. So we'll say 1 4 megapixel. So 5 2 megapixel. Now these are all wired. So the signal quality is going to be fantastic. Right now they're dealing with wireless cameras that cut in and out constantly because they're surrounded by metal structures. Plus wireless cameras are... I haven't seen one system actually work properly. But we're going to create wireless cameras using decent quality equipment. So 8-port NVR, and then how many 8-port NVR, not necessarily because we're going to plug the cameras directly into the NVR, but because the 8-port NVR is going to be able to support via its hardware specifications. It'll be able to support up to 8 cameras with the CPU and the RAM power that this thing has. And then we will need a 8-port switch? No. How many? We're doing 1. So there's 3 phones, a Wi-Fi, a point-to-point Wi-Fi system, so that's, and then 5 cameras.
I thought it was 6 cameras, 5 2 megapixel.
Right, I'm talking about what's going to have to plug in directly to to the camera, to the system. Can you mute that? I'll call him back. Oh, there's other phones. Nice. Then,
So 8 point.
no, we should get a 16 port switch. 16 port switch, room to grow. Two point-to-point Wi-Fi antennas. 2 power over Ethernet adapters. 3 phones, of course. Conduit. We're gonna need I'm gonna say 100 feet of conduit with we'll just say 10, what do they call it, gang box? Of course, cement, fasteners. We've got to replace the router. So we'll get the specs on that router and then update here. So that's basically the preliminary stages of putting together one of these lists. Specifically, what is going to be used, I'm not sure. I don't do this often enough to go ahead and pick out the hardware. I've used some of these pieces of equipment in the past. The IP cameras are amazing. The NVR is very solid. So I will update what pieces of equipment we end up using and give you an update as we go. Also, I was going to be on a bucket truck today. Mentioned going live. Apparently I can't go live. I didn't get into the bucket truck. And sometimes when we're dealing with other vendors and other people's availability, not everything works out. That's alright, it's just part of life. So the bucket truck was not available this morning. I also could not go live. And so I plan on recording some videos and hopefully we'll get, I think it's subscribers, up to 1,000 subscribers. So once I hit that mark, I'll be good to go. Alright, wish me luck. New videos to follow. Have a great day. Bye. Thanks for coughing, Tyler.